Matt's going to fill up half your place. He's bringing down the whole factory and their families.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I mean, we just spoke to the organizer of the Toronto show, and they had somewhere around the range of mid-20s to maybe 30 rooms, and they're claiming that they had 1,800 attendees. So that's not bad. And we're in the range of 50 rooms. Previous years, we've had about 3,000 attendees. So I'm hoping we're going to be in the low 2,000s for the number of attendees. So we're hoping, wishful thinking. So it's good to hear that so many people are coming.
Mm-hmm.
I've been receiving a lot of really positive feedback on social media and emails, etc. People have been giving me calls, and it's been greatly appreciated.
You deserve it. It's a lot of work.
Well, talking about meetings, next Friday or the Friday after Capital Audio Fest, Gary Coe is hanging out. So we're going to do like a mini VPI House event as our first in-person one. I'm probably going to have it where you have to RSVP ahead of time because we don't want a mob of people. But just since you mentioned the VPI House, here to throw it out there. So Gary Coe is going to be around.
Great. And now let's get started with Gary, who started the Capital Audio Fest, I believe, in 2010. And yes, it's been going strong since then, except for the problem with COVID last year. Gary, how did you get started in the Capital Audio Fest? What made you think you could actually run an audio show?
Yeah, very good question. I guess we were, I was hanging out with a group of audiophile friends, and we were smoking cigars, drinking scotch, and reminiscing about the old days in the 80s, I guess, in the DC area where there was an audio show. And somebody mentioned, yeah, we should do that. We should do that. And the we ended up being me. So I started a show in Rockville, Maryland, in a historic building. And at that time, it was more build it and they will come. And I put out the word. I didn't know anybody in the industry. I'm purely a hobbyist. And I had well-known audiophiles and vendors show up. Gary Gill of Border Patrol. Polk was local at the time. They were based out of Baltimore. Greg Barron from the Tape Project. Jeff Catalano. So, I mean, just to name a few, there were several, and Command AV from Falls Church, Virginia. So I had 12 rooms, and we went from there. And I grew year by year by year to the point where here we are, still around, still having a show.
So you just learned as you were going.
Yes.
And now you've become completely professional and throw, one of the best shows in the world now.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have learned, but I've also had a lot of feedback and a lot of support from vendors like VPI. I mean, they pull me aside and say, hey, I hope you don't mind, but I want to tell you this. I mean, literally, the first year I did this, I used blue tape to hold up the room signs, handwritten numbers and letters, etc. So it's like, okay, you're right. I need to improve how things look. I need to create a program. I need to do all these things to make it more professional. And year by year by year, Doug White was also of The Voice That Is, very instrumental in providing me feedback on the side. But all these vendors want to see me succeed, and they've given me a lot of positive input.
Yeah, and one year I helped a friend man his room at the Capital Audio Fest, and I was amazed by how you and your staff would come around to the vendors and ask, "What do you need? How's it going? What can I do for you?"
Right.
it's like very hands-on, and you're very attentive to everybody who's showing their stuff.
Thank you. I guess I look at it in that these vendors are paying me money. So it's the least I can do is to go around, shake somebody's hand, say thank you, and ask if everything's all right. I mean, that's kind of the way I was raised. So that's not even a question. And I will do it again this year. I'll do it every year till the very end.
Cool.
Wait, we're supposed to be paying for that?
All right. All right. You'll get a takedown instead.
So, Gary, do you want to talk about what's happening this year? How many rooms are booked? How many manufacturers and dealers are coming? That kind of thing?
Sure. I'll speak in generic terms. Right now, we're at about 50 rooms, whereas I said in 2019, we're at 89 rooms. So, I mean, in a way, I'm pleasantly pleased. We'll probably have about 30 table vendors also, which I think approximately 8 of those are by LTA, linear tube audio. So at this point, we're all the meeting spaces are filled, and we filled the 3rd floor completely, and also about half of the 5th floor. So we'll be on 3 floors this year. We'll be on the atrium, where VAC typically is, VAC and Von Schweikert. And then you go to the 3rd floor, of which VPI controls the end of the hallway there. And then on the 5th floor, those are the standard rooms, and there should be about another 30 up there. So we'll be somewhere around 50 rooms. I have had a few, let's see, there's a couple people that sadly have recently withdrawn due to family issues. Klaus from Odyssey, I guess there's a family matter that he needs to attend to, so he will not be in attendance. And then I think one other room, they have a family matter, so sorry to say, will probably be 48 to 50 rooms, but we're still going to have close to 100 vendors. Close to 100 vendors.
Wow. And what about seminars that you usually have? Any seminars this year?
Yes, we've got, let's see. I think we're having approximately 3 seminars a day, from Charles Kiramis to Wally Tools. There's a local guy, believe it or not, he builds designs, and he's a virtuoso in a theremin. And he's going to put on a seminar how to play a theremin, how to build and design and play a theremin. I've got, I think, let's see, there's, as I said, about 3 a day. There's a couple other folks I can't recall right off the top of my head, but 3, I'd say 3 a day. And then there's also a few that have just popped up on our news page that will be in the Eisenhower room. In 2019, we had Zoo in the Eisenhower room, but Sean, I guess, has got some major back issues. I think he was supposed to have surgery soon. And that's I've heard. I spoke to him, and he had some health issues. And they usually drive out, and it would not be a good thing for him to be driving out in a van with back problems. So there's going to be, we have new people in the Eisenhower, and as well as the executive room right next door. And so they've got, both of them have different guest speakers from the recording industry. And there's a new female singer. I have to look her up.
Ann Bisson?
Yes. So thank God, we need somebody different than the female singers we have right now. We need some new blood.
Are there any other live music events happening?
So on Friday and Saturday nights, there's a local jazz label by the name of cuneiform. They tend to lean towards, I call it either third stream or avant-garde music. But if you remember, in 2019, I had there's a local guitar hero. His name was Danny Gatton, who
Yep.
passed away
One of
in I think in the 80s.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, well, there is a
And
real
Roy Buchanan, his contemporary that they had a bit of a rivalry with, I guess.
right. Well, there's a new young gun. His name is Anthony Pirot, and I've got his information up on the website. He's amazing, really, truly amazing, and he's playing in a trio. I'm not doing a late night show as I usually do. This one's going to be in the bar, both Friday and Saturday night from 7 to 9. Jazz trio, guitar fronted. His wife plays cello, and they'll have a drummer. So they'll be in the bar Friday, Saturday nights.
Very nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Now, I guess another question that is going to come up is if you're just deciding now to go, obviously the Hilton is booked up. What are the
Yes, it is.
choices for overnight stays?
So the Hilton is booked, but right across the street, and I put the link on the website. So if you go to the website, the CAF website, and I think you click through from venue, and it'll say the Hilton Hotel is booked. And on the bottom, there's a link for the Even Hotel, EVEN, and they're literally right across the street. They're somewhere around $129 per night for each room. So it's somewhere in that range. And if you can't link through, let me know, because then they just have to add more rooms to the block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stayed in the Even, I guess in 2019, but I'm in the Hilton this year.
Yes.
Yeah, the Even's fine, as long as you don't get killed jaywalking across the highway.
Yeah. Yeah. Rockville Pike is it's a very busy road.
All right. So one other question. I always like the restaurants in the area. I'm not going to name my favorites because I don't want anybody going there and taking my reservation before I have it. But what are some of your favorite places to go to at night after the show?
Well, right across the street is Matchbox, which is a great. I think it's a really great pizza place, and they do more than just pizza. They have all kinds of Italian foods, etc. And I'd say it's a nouveau style. It's really good quality, but in my opinion, and my wife calls it, we're in an area. I live in Rockville also, and they have fantastic Asian food. There's a couple really good Chinese Thai restaurants that I'm happy to share with you and give you addresses. But we've had our fair share of restaurant losses, but my go-tos are still here. So I'm happy to provide information. There's even a great beer/sandwich place named Gilly's around the corner. But lots of places. I mean, just let me know and I can point you in the right direction.
And Harry and Matt, could I ask you to pipe up and talk about what you're going to be doing at the show?
Sure. Dad, you want to take it away? I'm kidding because
Well,
he doesn't
one
even know.
room is going to be Mike Kallelis's AMT custom-made drivers that are 90 inches tall, go from 120 hertz up to about 40K, no crossovers, and will fill that room with 2 watts.
Wow.
Seriously. Let me put it to you this way. I bought the speakers and I'm cheap as can be.
It's true.
I bought them.
It's true. It's cheap.
And he has woofers that can match the speed of the AMT drivers. He custom makes these. He's a mechanical engineer, retired, and he said, "What am I going to do? I always wanted to do this, so I'm going to build them." And of course, he was hit by COVID and everything else. Not him, but he couldn't get anything from anybody, so he got slowed up. I got mine before COVID, and then COVID hit, and bingo. So now he's back, and we're going to be showing it there. They're really amazing. And the other, and a full tube audio research system.
Right.
And the Avenger direct drive, first time it's been out in the open. And the other room will be the Pure Audio Projects quintets with the 4 woofers and the voxative in the middle, being driven by something.
Well, we're still kind of up in the air with everything because the original plan. Well, I'm not going to tell you the original plan because the speakers we wanted to use, I'm not going to use the name. They sound like shit. Am I allowed to say that? It's well, you don't know what speakers I'm talking about, but like no matter what we do, they just don't sound good, and it's like, hey, forget it. So then we were going to bring the JBLs, but who the heck wants to lug JBL speakers? Let's be honest. So
325 pounds.
You need a bigger truck and bigger employees, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. But yeah, so the overall plan is we're going to have something electronic-wise drive it. And the big issue has been supply. That's really been it because a lot of the speaker manufacturers we spoke to, they don't have product. A lot of the electronic companies we spoke to, they too do not have product. So that's kind of become the theme of nobody has product. We do, and we're going to be showing our 21 series. What's up? Here. Okay, go in, Speedy. Go in. I'll be right in there. Okay, sorry. That was like right in the middle of us just getting somewhere. So we'll be showing our 21 series because technically no one's actually seen that yet. We launched the 21 series because of COVID. Everything we're producing is not what we even had planned. We had a completely different direction planned for last year's Capital Audio. That couldn't happen. And if all goes well, you guys will be seeing something very interesting on the Speedbox side, as well as the Phono Stage side, and the 21 series is with our turntable itself. And as far as after events, we're going to do things every day. And we just want to be safe and everyone have a good time.
Yes, great.
Thanks, Matt. What happened with Gary Coe? I heard that his speakers were stuck on a boat or something.
He got 2 left feet. When he told me he had 2 left feet, I thought he was like just joking. No, he got 2 left speakers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so we are actually bringing his speakers with us in the truck. And no joke, I have a 26-foot truck. I was trying to get a 20-foot truck. I guess everyone's moving. So we got a free upgrade.
I promised people before we got officially started that we would talk about COVID. So let's bring up that elephant in the room. What are the requirements?
Okay, the requirements, I'm going to move around a little bit so you can see my very efficient speaker.
Oh yeah, how many watts does it take to get those to 90 dB?
Oh, it's, I'd say it's about 102 dB sensitivity, to the point where I use full range drivers also. I manufactured this just for fun. It's a AER BD3 full range driver on the back. And I'm using an 18-inch 100 and some odd dB sensitivity, low frequency sealed cabinet on the bottom. And I'm using, which I can show you here, is, if you can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a push-pull triode custom amplifier by David Burning. So David Burning lives local to me, like a few miles away. And so, all right, this is a long, I'll make it a short story, but one day David came over and said, "Hey, do you mind if I bring this amplifier with me?" And I said, "Not a problem." He came over, and at the time, David, I don't know if anybody knows him, but David didn't own a car at the time. So he rode over on his bike, brought the amplifier, and well, he brought a backpack. And so he comes over, he says, "Hey, do you mind if we put your amp in the system?" I said, "Not a problem." I said, you know, as any cocky audio guy would say, my amp is going to beat your amp up. And sure enough, he put his amp in there and it destroyed I have a pair of like 1940s push-pull triode theater amps by Sun Radio Corp. And it destroyed them. David's hand-built amplifier. The tubes are 6B4G, and they are an 8-pin version of a 2A3, and it just destroyed everything. So I had to buy one, and he handmade it for me, and I had it in about 2 months. But now I have 2 of them. He's only made 10, and I have 2 of them. But Dave, so I'm using about 8 watts in my system, and I probably don't get much more than a watt, and it gets too damn loud.
Yeah.
Do you
But
have a
Love
room
these
at
high
the show,
efficiency
by the way?
loudspeakers.
Oh, sorry. A couple people were speaking. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Harry.
I just love these high efficiency loudspeakers.
Yes.
We did most of our listening here with the Wednesday night audio group with 20 watts, and you couldn't stay in the room.
No way.
It's so loud. It's just ridiculous. But what they do is they move air very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, these high efficiency drivers move air very quickly, and they're very revealing.
Yeah.
And to the point where I've heard so many things that I've never heard before. You know, it's like you have a whole new vinyl collection.
Yeah.
And anytime, and Jerry's been over to my house a few times, and anytime we bring, I'm not quite the VPI house, but we have manufacturers come over with our local club, and almost every time guys in the club say, "Put your system back on." So get back to, we like what was there before.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of very efficient drivers, efficient speakers.
Yeah, me too.
And can we hear your speakers at the show? Do you have a room?
No, I don't, because they were at the show maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And the issue is that they're not real pretty. I mean, I'll turn it around. So they're kind of DIY. It's fiberglass on the back, so you can see there's texture. It's not real pretty, and it's rough cut wood with the AER drivers. So I do that, and then in addition, I showed you the David Burning custom amp. Sorry, Harry, but I'm cheating on you. I've got another turntable.
We can't make enough of them.
This is a cast iron by Fern and
Oh,
Roby.
Fidel. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the True Glider. That's the True Glider arm with the really wobbly head shell. And then my favorite, well, I've got a Dave Slagle step up with the EAR 834P. And then my customized, upgraded LTA linear tube audio phone preamp. I'm trying this Sun Valley phono stage, but the the jury is out yet. My favorite phono stage to date is the 834p. To date.
Mhm.
But
Very nice.
on to COVID.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. As of today, I'm still requiring that people come in with a mask. Although Montgomery County has just removed the mandate to wear a mask. Although the hotel still has stated to me as of today, they're still requiring a mask, and especially due to the quantity of attendees we expect. So wearing a mask, and also I put on the website to bring your COVID card or a negative COVID test within the last few days. It doesn't have to be your original copies. It can be a photocopy. You can have it on your phone. Any way you want to bring it. Just bring a copy of either your vaccination card or a negative test. And I don't care what kind of test it is. Just bring it in, and just bring it up when you're going to the registration table to get a ticket.
And I know some states like New Jersey and New York there, and others have apps for your phones that tie into the state database.
Oh,
So just so you're aware, the one in New Jersey is called Docket, and it's used by several other states, but you can just tap on your phone, launch Docket, and it will show you the vaccination status.
is it DOCKET?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think New York uses a different app, but I believe these apps are they're official apps, and they tie into the state database, so you can't fake it.
Okay, great.
Although I guess you could fake anything with, but
True. Very true.
but I think these are hack proof. If somebody didn't bring their card, but has the app on their phone, they can prove their vaccination status.
Wonderful.
Now,
If you go to Atlantic Health, they give you this,
mhm.
and that's all over New Jersey.
Excellent. Well, sadly, Maryland is not that sophisticated yet. We're not caught up to New Jersey yet, so sorry.
Are any of the vendors, what has been their reaction to requiring vaccinations? I assume that they're happy with it because it, of course, protects them as much as protecting the paid the paid participants in the Audio Fest.
Well, without naming names, I've had most of the people have been very receptive, very thankful. I've had a few that basically gave me the finger and said, I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm not, give me my money back. And these are longtime vendors. I was surprised. And so I said, no problem. I'll give you your money back. And I did. But I was totally surprised that I generally thought that most everybody in our industry is, whether you can have a conversation, and there was no conversation. But generally, I'd say 99% of the vendors have been very receptive, very friendly, very communicative. But there are a few that and there's attendees also. I send out to 8,500 email addresses with my mass emails, and I've got plenty of middle fingers sent back to me that ranging from there's no such thing as a virus to screw you and or whoever. But nonetheless, I had to console my wife, and she had to calm me down. Said, don't respond. So I've not even got involved in those conversations, but
Mhm.
in general, everything's been very good.